All right, video 5, I believe, and we're talking about finding yourself. Really a synopsis of the Course in Miracles, my version, so probably not a synopsis, and being happy, finding happiness. And we left off with accepting death. So this is the next big one for us humans, accepting death. I guess we don't have to, but accepting death is very, very helpful, because guess what? Your body's gonna die. Sorry to break it to you. Lasting happiness, accept death. It's a must. With a little awareness, it's easy. It's just laying down what never existed. The Course in Miracles says, perception is a function of the body and therefore represents a limit on awareness. The body appears to be largely self-motivated and independent, yet it actually responds only to the intentions of the mind. If the mind wants to use it for attack in any form, it becomes prey to sickness, age, and decay. If the mind accepts the Holy Spirit's purpose for it instead, it becomes a useful way of communicating with others, the body we're talking about, and invulnerable as long as it is needed, and to be gently laid by when its use is over, end quote. So the body is a wonderfully useful tool. That is a tool. And if you fall in love with your tool, it can cause a lot of problems, because your tool is to be laid down. Can't avoid it. The body is born and the body dies. There's no way around this. If you resist even the idea of this, you will suffer. I can't talk about death. In our culture, we don't even see dead people, which is abnormal, I think, in the history of humans, the way that Americans do this. It's a great help to happiness to embrace death instead. It's helpful to remember that this body only exists in the realm of perception. Accepting death is like accepting that the 2-hour movie you're watching will come to an end. It's pretty simple. If you're watching a great show but are terrified of its ending, your entire experience will be altered from entertainment to misery. It's going to end. God. You don't even know what's going on because you're suffering. All things in this temporary domain of perception have a beginning and an end. It's part of this reality. But in a deeper reality, or the realm of knowledge, there is no death. There is no end. The you that is using your body does not die. Be thankful for your body and love your body for the experience it provides you. But forgive the idea that you are your body, or the idea that that's all you are, at least, or that any outcome of it can't affect the real you in any way but for your good, and be freed from its limitations. Okay, we're going to finish off this series that was a post called Finding Yourself to Be Happy, and turned into a little bit of an exposition here, and a synopsis of the Course in Miracles and happiness, really. I think the goal is practicing noticing our errors in perception faster. Just noticing faster. If you course correct faster, that's the goal. If you look at a ship going across the ocean, it never goes in a straight line. It's not like leaves New York and gets to Europe. It actually is crisscross. And the more high-tech the software, the navigation software it doesn't take out the crisscross pattern of a ship across the ocean. What it does is it just lowers, it shortens the turns. It corrects faster. And that is the goal of being human. It's not making mistakes, so to speak, whatever it's really just noticing when we suffer faster, and noticing it's an error in perception faster, because it's all part of our journey here. It's part of the excitement, is the dark and the light contrast, the ups and the downs, the happiness and the misery. They all depend on each other for existence, because that's duality. It needs both sides. So just notice faster, and the noticing part will make the journey more enjoyable. in my experience anyway. As participants in this realm, I'm going to start reading now. As participants in this realm, we can avoid the perceptions that come streaming in. Yet we can correct the validity of the perceptions and be open to another conclusion. The Holy Spirit's conclusion, or God's helper, the Holy Spirit's conclusion of what everything means. This is perceiving through Christ within. I'd recommend considering the Holy Spirit's conclusion. The goal is not to stop perceiving, because that is what the body does. The body just perceives, putting meaning on everything. The goal is to see through the perceptions to a deeper reality. So it's all still going to be there. Just we're not trying to change that stuff. We're just seeing through the layers as they come to us. The goal is not to change your crazy thoughts or desires. Those don't originate from you anyway. All these thoughts that you think are you. So how would you even change them if they're not from you? Which is another crazy thought. The goal is to be aware faster that the reality we suffer from is the body's perception and the ego's story about it. The goal is not to conform, coerce, force your world into your ideas of perfection. The goal is to see past your perceptions to the perfect world that is already here. The goal is not to fix or help or change yourself or others. The goal is to see past those judgments to the innocent and the worthiness of Christ within others, within yourself, right now. So, how do we start? Start small. See a crying baby thrashing about, trying to find relief. Look past the annoyance to the beautiful, innocent self behind that suffering exterior. It's easy to see a beautiful baby, even one that's contorted in suffering and crying. Still a beautiful baby. Now, you could do that with older babies in their 30s, 60s, 80s, all us older babies that are upset and thrashing about to find relief in our own more edified ways, more unique ways. We find much more unique ways to thrash about to find relief. You can see past your initial perceptions once. If you can do it that once, well, you can do it again. If you can do it with a baby, you can do it with a 60-year-old baby. You get better at it the more you see past those layers and see that beautiful Christ presence within. This is the version of Christ seen through you. And this action, this habit is forgiveness. Any perception that is not love is not from Christ. It's just a layer covering the love up. So what does Christ see within? The body sees weakness. The vision of Christ sees strength. The body sees separation. The vision of Christ sees through the layers and sees unity. The body sees fearful things. The vision of Christ sees through those layers and sees past those things to our ever-present foundation of love. The body listens to the clean external inputs. The ears of Christ are intentionally attuned to the internal subtle voice of the Holy Spirit. The body perceives opposites. Christ sees sameness. The body paints the world in a competitive, dangerous light. Christ sees it all in kindness and as innocent participants, all playing their roles perfectly. The body perceives injustice. Christ sees a call for help and for union. The body's solution for sin, sickness, and attack is resistance to fight through it. Christ's solution is gentleness and love, and thus defenses have no value and are laid down. The body thinks its needs are different from the other, but Christ sees our brother's needs as my own needs because of our same journey to God. See past our perceptions and look into the eyes of the other and see divinity. As you see divinity in the other, attune your awareness to also see divinity looking through your own eyes, through all of your own perceptions, in order to see the divinity in the other. Feel that divinity within. Feel Christ within, noticing your body's perceptions. When nothing's changed, right? You can still be engaged in this resistance, engaged in making up thoughts to find happiness somewhere else, and see Christ noticing you, this superficial version of you, see a part of yourself noticing when you do that. Nothing's changed, just notice yourself doing that. And notice the little mind's attack thoughts, and notice their defenses, and notice your general suffering as it comes up. Even if you are stuck perceiving separation with the mind's eye, imagine seeing only love and innocence. Your body's perceptions, attack thoughts, and reasons to suffer will stop flowing in, or at least slow. This isn't a problem. Let them be, and put your focus on the Holy Spirit's help. We cannot do this on our own. Ask for God's help. Love the body, but don't trust its perceptions. Trust Christ's vision. Give to others what you discover is the most important. Course in Miracles says this, quote, "Forgiveness is unknown in heaven, where the need for it would be inconceivable. However, in this world, forgiveness is a necessary correction for all the mistakes that we have made. To offer forgiveness is the only way for us to have it, for it reflects the law of heaven that giving and receiving are the same. Heaven is the natural state of all the sons of God as He created them. Such is their reality forever. This reality has not changed just because it has been forgotten." End quote. Course in Miracles also says this, "Forgiveness is the means by which we will remember. Through forgiveness, the thinking of the world is reversed. The forgiven world becomes the gate of heaven, because by its mercy we can at last forgive ourselves. Holding no one prisoner to guilt, we become free. Acknowledging Christ in all our brothers, we recognize His presence in ourselves. Forgetting all our misconceptions, and with nothing from the past to hold us back, we can remember God. When we are ready, God Himself will take the final step in our return to Him." End quote. So I wrote a poem I was thinking I was going to tell it to my kids at night as just something to be programming, so to speak, something we do every night so they can remember it easy. And I thought it was a good night poem, and is a good ending to this discourse. So here's the poem. God within me, God without. God within me, God throughout. God protects without a doubt. Love within me, love throughout. Love protects without a doubt. God and love, they fill my heart. God's love has made me from the start. My brother and I are the same God stuff love, just different name. I do not see an enemy. Through God's eyes, I just see another me. God, spirit, and love inside. From the truth, I cannot hide. There's no win, lose, or draw today. From the now, it's perfect in every way. They make me up to who I am. I play for fun. I am. God bless you.